is exactly 1 p.m. in the studios of UBC TV. Hello there and welcome from me, Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma, to Lunchtime Bulletin this Monday, the 28th day of October 2019. Later on in this program, we shall be joined by Mr. Francis Peter Ojede, who is the Executive Director of the Uganda National Cultural Center, and we'll be looking at the second annual Art and Cultural Festival 2019, and we'll be talking about what it is about this annual Art and Cultural Festival. First though, let's get started. The Parliamentary Committee on Defence and Internal Affairs contingent today visited the forward operating bases in Albeska and interacted with UPDF soldiers and managers serving under AMISOM. Now, the meeting is part of the committee's agenda in Somalia to assess the country's troops serving under the African Union mission in Somalia. Let's get this story.
The committee visited the Albesika forward operating bases and interacted with UPDF troops and local Somali leadership.
Now it has hit our convoy. The road is
On their arrival, the committee was received by the Albesika base commander Sam Kutesa, and later the soldiers demonstrated military skills.
These heavy ones, these are for vehicles. So they extract explosive from the projectiles and they put them here. So that's an improvised IED.
The commander Albesika base, Colonel Sam Kutesa, briefed the committees on the prevailing situation and commitment to fight terrorism and ensuring peace and stability in the area.
On 19th, we captured our Digre, where we are still holding up to now. Our operation forces are still there, the Somali waiting for other orders from our contingent commander.
However, the UPDF troops at forward operating base in Albesika still face tactical offensive attacks from the Al-Shabaab.
We go back now to the vehicle. That's where the last protection now is there. The other form is electronic, where individuals are, if you can afford, are given an ECM, electronic countermeasures. It sends a pulse that interferes with that, the receiver, so it doesn't work.
State Minister for Defense Colonel Okero Engola hailed Ugandan troops for sacrificing to bring peace to Albesika town, a once stronghold of Al-Shabaab.
Nikuona kwamba jeshi anakuwa vizuri au kitu gani inatendeka au nini. So kwa sasa hivi nimeleta hao hapa ile wakuje waangalie nyinyi katika kazi.
The lead of delegation and the chairperson for the Parliamentary Committee on Defence and Internal Affairs, Honorable More Dorin, was impressed by the performance of UPDF.
The whole world is thanking you. It's very hard for a player to say this player is better than me, but we've seen it here in Mogadishu. We've seen it here in Somalia, where other forces are saying, yes, we know we are also trained and we are here for a mission as TCCs, but UPDF surpasses, and the reason we are here.
Amore further noted that the gains made in Somalia needed to be consolidated, given the sacrifices made to restore order. The committee met with the local leadership, who praised the UPDF for their good conduct and excellent relations with civilians. Haruna Mtesasira compiled this report.
Haruna Mtesasira and Sudatka, thank you so much for that report there. Now from defense, let's turn our attention to matters pertaining to the health sector, where the Minister for Health in charge of primary health care, Dr. Joyce Moriku Kaduchu, who is also Moyo District Woman Representative, has called upon parents in the district to keep their children in school in order to protect them from teenage pregnancies. Dr. Moriku joined members of Parliament in the Parliamentary Forum on Food Security, Population and Development on an awareness campaign against early marriage and teenage pregnancies in Moyo District.
From Moyo District Health Office show that young boys and girls between the ages of 10 to 19 years are engaging in sexual intercourse Under this age group, only 9% of the boys and 2% of the girls respectively are using condoms.
Some of our boys are also using condom, and 2% of the girls are also using condom. That tells you that they're in a sexual activity that in a way distorts the policy provision that young people are supposed to abstain.
This is something to worry about for the leaders in the district.
The problem is that they get access to information anywhere, especially the social media. Today, parents are not gatekeepers for their children anymore.
The State Minister for Primary Health Care, Dr. Joyce Moriko Kaduchu, also Moyo District Woman Representative, says the policy on reproductive health and rights, now before Cabinet, will help guide the young people on the use of contraception.
We have various appropriate information according to the age group. Information should be given according to appropriate age group. The information a 10-year-old child is given may not be the same information a 16-year-old child is given. You get that?
Legislators blame this anomaly on families and teachers for ignoring their role.
Going for sports betting, casinos, for disco dancing, and so on and so forth.
Members of Parliament on the Forum on Food Security, Population and Development, together with the United Nations Population Fund, are traversing all corners of Moyo District to raise awareness on teenage pregnancies that stand at 16%. National figures stand at 25%.
The coming of the members of Parliament to Moyo District, it is going to have an impact in the sense that where there is a will, there is a way. Where you involve the community, you are going to change their mindset, you are going to change the attitude. Where the community are participating in giving solutions.
Recently, the Embassy of Netherlands in Uganda and the in-country UN population body UNFPA signed a partnership agreement worth 98 billion shillings for a 4-year program to advance sexual and reproductive health and rights in West Nile and Acholi sub-regions in Uganda. Bernard Yiga, UBC TV, Moyo.
Now, New Rwanda district, formerly of Kabale, has had an infrastructural development boost with support of the Royal Kingdom of the Netherlands. Now, feeder roads to areas previously not connected to the national road network have been upgraded to the delight of the residents. An 18.1-kilometer road connecting rural areas of Rwanda to Kabale is one of the recent initiatives, as we hear in this report.
The Embassy of Royal Kingdom of the Netherlands in Uganda, through the International Fertilizer Development Center, in partnership with the Rwanda local government, has constructed an 18.1-kilometer feeder road to interconnect the district's rural areas.
Before, the farmers used it to face a lot of problems because they used it to use borders, bicycles, carry on their head going to the market, and they would walk over 10 kilometers.
The purpose of this road is to improve farmer access to markets, to shorten journey times, to reduce transport costs, and to improve farmers' access to critical inputs such as seeds, fertilizers.
The first Secretary of Food Security at the Royal Dutch Embassy in Uganda, Anno Galema, was happy that the Royal Dutch government is contributing to improving people's livelihoods.
And what we're doing here in the western part of Uganda is related to the food security and agribusiness. So the IFDC program, which is focusing on the value chain of potato in this area, is contributing to what we would like to achieve in food security. The roads are one element of that approach, because producing also means you have to bring your product to the market.
The woman member of Parliament, Rwanda, Kampurira Prosembabazi, on her side wants better prices for potatoes, a main crop in the area.
But after that, someone sells a sack of Irish at 80,000, at 50,000. Right now, the value is so low, it is not believable at all after the closure of Katuna border. So it is really hurting us. It is really disturbing my people. We are crying, we are hurting as Rubanda district. If someone can spend millions and millions of money and now they instead harvest very little in what they have put in.
The Rubanda district is home to Lake Bunyonyi and a number of all-weather rivers. The area is water-stressed due to its hilly nature. Residents are seeking for a system that can make all residents have access to safe water, good health services, and access to schools.
Where I come from, a person buys a jerrycan of water at 3,000. It is hurting. And me as a woman member of parliament, it is hurting. I'm not proud of it that my people buy water at 3,000, a jerrycan of water. It is making our children not to go to school.
The person from this place walks over 5 kilometers going to fetch water.
Report by Douglas Setumba for UBC.
Good initiative there, that road, as it will ease so many problems that the people of Rubanda have been meeting. It's coming to 12 minutes after 1. We'll now take a short break, but we'll return with what's happening in the world of business. Stay with us.
Check target. Dial star 1625. Get 100% on data and bonus. Win instantly with Mega Master Pay. Just recharge and hit your target.
Mega Masape from Airtel is back, and everyone, we mean everyone, gets a bonus. All you have to do, check your target, recharge, get 100% bonus on data and minutes. Dial star 162 hash today to know your target.
Airtel, the smartphone network. Activate Airtel Money today and enjoy convenience on payments for all utility bills. That's right, you can pay all your bills from the comfort of your home at any time of the day. To pay electricity bills, dial star 185 hash. Select 4, pay bill. Select 1, Umeme Touch Pay. Select 1, pay bill, or 2, buy Yaka. Enter Yaka meter number for prepaid customers or Umeme account number for postpaid customers. Enter the amount, enter PIN to confirm, and complete payment. Yes, pay all your utility bills conveniently today only using Airtel Money. Airtel Money, simple, instant, secure. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Inspirational moment with Pastor Jackson Senyonga of Christian Life Church, Kampala.
2 Corinthians 9:9-11. As it's written, He has scattered abroad his gifts to the poor. His righteousness endures forever. Now he who supplies seed to the sower and bread for food will supply and multiply your store, the store of seed, and will increase the harvest of your righteousness. You will be enriched in every way to be generous on every occasion. May God who scatters seed and give you to the sower give you every gift in Jesus' mighty name.
My first 4G smartphone from Airtel is back. It's bigger, better, and comes with 5 GB free data per month for 3 months. At only 200,000 Uganda shillings, enjoy fantastic features on the phone, like the face unlock feature, long battery life. Mwana, kavolume keko. Live your life in 4G with my first 4G smartphone at only 200,000 Uganda shillings and get free 5 GB data every month for 3 months. Visit the nearest Airtel shop, dial star 175 star 9 hash to enjoy free data. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that short break, and this is Lunchtime News here on UBC TV. A warm welcome to those of you just joining us. My name is Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma. Business news now, and the United Nations Capital Development Fund and Makerere University have launched the Local Economic Acceleration for Improved Access to Public Goods and Services in secondary towns in Uganda. Now, two towns, Gulu and Mabale, are the first selected, and Dimitri Pojidev, the head of UNCDF in Uganda, says it intends to explore alternative financing modalities for inadequate public infrastructure.
Gulu and Mbale municipalities were uplifted to city status, and a lot of investment are awaiting these new cities. As Uganda's secondary cities, average population growth is expected. Much is needed to improve the capacity of municipal governments to analyze their financial situation and identify the measures to expand their fiscal space.
Able to tap into domestic capital markets, to improve their credit worthiness, and to get access to additional finance for their municipal infrastructure.
The United Nations Capital Development Fund and Makerere University will implement the project in cities of Gulu and Mbale to attract investment.
They develop projects that are financially viable, then they may get funding from that International Municipal Investment Fund, as well as possibly from some other financing vehicle and financing sources.
Makerere University will provide local research about financial modeling and economic policy in a municipality development.
We have, but we should also be able to have well-informed group of locally based professional researchers and financial analysts to conduct policy-relevant research.
This program is part of the Cities Alliance Joint Work Program, and targeted cities commit their collaboration with the implementers.
Shall go back and sensitize people to know about that. I'm sensitizing them, shall sit together and tell them the benefits of that thing. So boarding it is just easy.
Well, with the plan we have, because we already have plan. We have plan, we are now going for the master city plan, so we shall utilize that plan. Generally, we also have the physical planning. It is already there in the existence.
This program of $250,000 is to last for 2 years, and the result of the engagement at the municipal level will inform the national global knowledge products, which provide field-tested guidelines for investments in secondary cities in Africa and beyond. Abdul Nasir Ruwama for UBC News.
The East African Business Council members are meeting here in Kampala for a 3-day seminar to deliberate on harmonizing standards, sanitary and phytosanitary measures. At the end of the workshop, joint recommendations will be made for advocacy at the regional level.
Because we know of backward and forward integration, so we need both the big players and the small players to be involved in this process of standards. ESC, through the SPMT Act, has put in procedures to provide a framework that will guide in identification, prioritization, and the use of the process for the development of these standards.
There are so many jobs coming, so many contracts. For example, in the oil and gas, high standards required to do certain things. When we combine effort as East Africa, as a bloc, that makes us even stronger to advocate for business, advocate for benefits as far as the trading relations are concerned. Say in the free Africa continental area that is coming, you know, we become one. But if we don't harmonize, if we don't speak as East Africa, how else then are we going to speak as Africa? We will be swallowed by Africa.
There are instances where business people are denied entry into some partner states. Of recent, we had the scenario of goods from Tanzania being denied entry into Kenya, and also goods from Uganda are being denied entry into Kenya. And yet we have mutual recognition. So what we are saying as a business council is that we need to have mutual recognition and its equivalence.
East African Business Council members here in Kampala deliberating issues that affect the council. We'll take yet another break, but we'll return with what's happening in the world on the international scene. Stay with us.
Activate Airtel Money today and enjoy convenience on payments for all utility bills. That's right, you can pay all your bills from the comfort of your home at any time of the day. To pay electricity bills, dial *185#. Select 4, Pay Bill. Select 1, Umeme Touch Pay. Select 1, Pay Bill, or 2, Buy Yaka. Enter Yaka meter number for prepaid customers or Umeme account number for postpaid customers. Enter the amount, enter PIN to confirm, and complete payment. Yes, pay all your utility bills conveniently today only using Airtel Money. Airtel Money, simple, instant, secure.
Airtel, the smartphone network. This weekend on UBC.
My name is Mkayo Hannington, winner of the NSSF Friends with Benefits Season 2.
Congratulations, Hannington!
I used my winnings to boost my agricultural production and give a chance to the people in my community to work.
So join us this year for the 3rd season of the NSSF Friends with Benefits, as 16 Ugandans share inspirational stories on how they use their NSSF benefits to do life-changing things. So tune in every Sunday with your hosts Gaetano and I, and special new host Uncle D. It's another incredible display. It's the NSSF Friends with Benefits.
And that's not all. You have the power to vote for your favorite stories to win up to 55 million shillings, just like Huntington. This show is brought to you by
NSSF, a better life.
Welcome back, and you are still watching Lunchtime News here on UBC TV. Time now for us to have that interview. Earlier on this morning, the Executive Director of the Uganda National Cultural Center, Mr. Ojede Francis Peter, addressed a press conference at the Uganda Media Center, and the gist of that press conference was about the second annual Art and Cultural Festival 2019. What is it all about? And so many other questions that probably you might be having in your heads. And we're privileged this time to be having Mr. Ojede in the studio to shed more light on what this second annual Art and Cultural Festival is all about. Hello and welcome to Lunchtime News.
Thank you very much, and for hosting me this afternoon.
Yes, in the morning we know you were at the Media Center, and of course you talked about this upcoming second annual Art and Cultural Festival. Tell us through what this festival is all about.
Yeah, as you rightly pointed out, this is the second edition of the UNCC Annual Art and Culture Festival. The first one was last year, and we've been having it all in November. Last year it was two days. This year we have decided that it's 3 days. We want to bring culture nearer to everyone, and for that matter we are going to do a whole range of issues that are related to culture. We're going to have lots of performances in terms of music, dance and drama. We're going to have exhibitions. We're also going to have symposia, and we're going to be talking about, we are going to unpack the aspect of culture with specific reference to a theme which we have coined out, which is called Culture for Sustainable Tourism. So we're trying to link culture with the aspect of tourism. In the past we've been using, tourism has been doing its work independently and culture independently, but we're saying that culture and tourism needs to be linked in terms of what they do. We produce the product, as cultural products that has to be packaged and sold by the tourism sector so that people from all over the world can come and experience our rich cultures. They'll be able to come and also buy some of the cultural products, and therefore creating employment for people. And then, you know, generally we also use the same platform for training others who would like to join this area of culture, that probably would like to know how to do certain things, music, how to sing, how to use the instruments. And then there are also others that would like to do painting. They'll be shown how the paintings are done. And then definitely we'll be having those master classes to introduce them. It's not really full training. Introduce them, but for those who are already in the area, to perfect it. And we have done this, and we thought that we pick, because we have 52 cultures in Uganda. So the
52?
Way, yes,
wow.
Yes. And the way we did it was to try and go to the regions and pick out those aspects of culture that are in the regions. So we've been able to pick a lot of performers, the groups that you definitely like. For instance, we have...
Because actually you're answering a part of what I was going to ask the participants, because you talk about tourism, and definitely there we think the Uganda Tourism Board is there. Who are these other participants, and are they going to add value to this gala?
Definitely they'll have to add value. We're already working with Uganda Tourism Board, as you have rightly put it, with the Ministry of Tourism as well. And then we're also working with the Uganda Registration Services Bureau. You know, they're the ones that are responsible for aspects of copyrights and so forth. We're working with them. And we're also working with the entire media fraternity. You are one of them. And the diplomats. We have the prime ministers and kings of the other institutions. We have them, and we're trying to use them so that, you know, we get them throughout. So we have quite a number of people, and there are also people who in the private sector that are just interested in this area. They are coming to support us. They are there to work with us, and they're trying to make sure that this event for this year works out very well.
It's very good. You've talked about you know, kings and other, you know, heads of cultural institutions, because culture and kingdoms, they are really intertwined. But let's when someone hears of culture, most people think of, you know, dancing, you know, artifacts, and all these other things, music, dance, and drama. Explain to us, what is culture really?
Very interesting. I have talked about this in your studio here a few years ago, and even this year I think I did. You see, if you want to unpack culture, you need to look at it from, one is the way of life. And then if you want to look at the way of life, it's a whole range of things, how we behave in society, how we talk, how we dress, how we do our architectures, you know, how we dance, like you're saying, how we you know, it's a whole range. And the only difference is that if you're looking at culture, different people do it differently. And in Uganda, for instance, if you come to my own culture, which is the Lango culture, you'll find that if
I like the way you guys dance.
You have our dance, and the way we even in terms of our homesteads, because we both agriculture and also we keep animals.
You're nomads.
So the kind of homesteads that we used to set, and the time of, you know, is different from different others, and even the type of dance. And because we dance in terms of ceremonies. If somebody is born, there is a dance for it. If somebody dies, there's a dance for it. If somebody probably is married, there's a dance. So
all those dances are different.
They're different, and they depict different ceremonies. So you're able to know that there's something happening like this. And also our dresses, you know, you pick on, nowadays we tend to take on suits and so forth. But I mean, we have our own traditional dresses. Some of them probably needs improvement. But I mean, they're still there, and they only need to be improved.
Okay.
But, yeah, so we have different cultures, and you can, and then the artifacts, the tools and the things that we use. The grinding mill, for instance, in our community, they used to have those stones, and
just get a stone.
And then the pounding, you know, our food used to be pounded, and the groundnuts and so forth.
Very few people still do this actually.
And yet it's very good, by the way. If you got groundnuts that is pounded, it's different. It tastes different from the one that you grind using
from the machine. Yes.
And it's the health component of it is intact, because you're not grinding the metal. metal,
the metal,
to
exactly.
metal. So so some of these things are also very healthy.
Okay.
And the type of food we eat, you realize that we have the malakwangs, that we have the balls, we have the the peas that is crushed.
Yes,
healthy.
Which is very good. Thank you, Ojede. But now let's time is not our best ally. You're parting short as we prepare for other programs. You're parting short in 1 minute.
Yeah. My short is that I'm calling upon all Ugandans to join us on the 1st up to the 3rd when we have the festival launched, and we want to have it in the National Theatre. We have a platform on the, we have it, you can now register online, and you go to www.uncc, and so you'll be able to register with us. And then secondly, we also want to call upon everyone.
Is it free? Are you charging people?
We're charging 5,000 only, so that you can get something small about, and people want also to pay. I mean, you can't have free things because people don't want to go for free things. So we decided to make it just 5,000. But it's important for you to note the big names that are going to be in this. We have big names that are going to be, Ragadi is going to be there, Afrigoban is going to be there, Miko Ouma is going to be there, Sarandagire is going to be there, Haka Mukiga is going to be there, Andrea Baguma is going to be there, and Sally Muserebende is going to be there, and then there's going to be a troop from Mumbai, India. We have the Indian troop that is going to be, and then lastly we shall have regional troops. We have the Abasoga, Bako, Berana, Bamasaba, then we have the Super Eagles from the north, we have the Lur cultural troops, we have the Mugahinga cultural troop, and then Tukolere. So those are people that are going to be, and the thing is going to be streamed live, and we have plus, and I think this is important for you to note, we know you are going to be there, UBC, but
as always,
the thing is going to be streamed live by Plus 256. It's a company that last year did, and they've agreed to do it here. So watch, Plus 256 is going to stream these activities live. Plus all other media platforms like yourself is going to be there. So we'll have a blast.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ojede. Mr. Ojede is the Executive Director of the Uganda National Cultural Center, and has been talking about the 2nd Annual Art and Cultural Festival that will be taking place beginning next week.
Yeah, Friday, this Friday.
This Friday, up to Sunday, that's when it ends.
Yes.
So you should be there, and because it's very important that you get to learn about your culture, how is it related to other cultures. There's so much to learn from that festival. Thank you so much. This has been Lunchtime Bulletin. My name is Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma. Up next is the sports program here with Ruben and his colleagues, telling you everything that has been happening in the world of sport, but also what is due to take place in this week. Thank you so much. My name is Edward Rukidi Kijanangoma. Stay tuned and bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you very much.